Hello, traders. We're trading crude oil Friday, August 7th, 2015, and we're coming up to a high probability setup for a short. In the pre market, we were moving in a downward trend. It broke through that trend, but that doesn't mean that it's reversing. The probability is still to the downside. We're coming up to the um, 50 period moving average on a higher time frame, and that actually puts us very close to where price is. Now I'm just waiting for sellers to fail, and we're gonna see if we can run this for maybe 10 to 15 ticks. So it looks like buyers are still coming into the market, just watching volume. And as soon as I see the right setup, I'm gonna jump in. And there it is. Of course, I have to grab my target. Okay, so now we are short. We're gonna see if we can take this down for about 10 ticks. This was a pretty easy trade. It was not hard to pick the top on this one. Of course, it doesn't guarantee it could. We could observe a trend line. Here's a micro trend. I'm going to draw that so you can see this. So here's a micro trend that could be obeyed. We're just going to hold our stop where we are and wait for the sellers to come in. Now we broke out of this small consolidation area. I'm trying to decide where I want to place my stop. Up, looks like it might stop us out. I think I'm going to go one tick above the last pivot and see if the buyers can fail. A lot of times at these pivots, there's a lot of buying and selling that occurs. So it's not uncommon to actually come up slightly higher and then make the thrust back down. So we're going to see if just waiting for the sellers to fail. I mean the buyers to fail. I don't have any. I don't have a lot of sellers yet. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to bring my stop in just slightly above this area. We really need to break this little mini support that is created. As soon as we punch through that, I can bring my stop in a little bit more, reduce my risk. I'm not risking very much on this trade. So I'm risking 6 ticks. It's extremely low volume. So this, well, that's not promising. We couldn't punch through that miniature support area. Until we do, I'm going to just keep my stop limited here. Okay, we're going for another round to test that area. We really need to punch through that support. There we go. It's testing it. Yeah, we can't punch through it. I just don't see the sellers coming in. And this is extremely low volume. We're running an average of 100 contracts a minute. Just really need to punch through that support area. It touched it. It'll be the fourth time it touched it, so it should punch through. We just need to. Nope, there was a rejection. I think if we come down one more time, we might take this thing lower. Although it's not a lot of buyers, but they're still there. And it's not a lot, but it's enough to take price higher. So we need to just be cautious. Okay, now the buyers are starting to come in. They need to break through this area, which may not be hard to do when you have extreme low volume and suddenly it starts to rise in one direction. It could very well just punch right through the stop. Well, it's coming back and testing that little mini support. It's a thin, very thin volume. So this thing could go any way it wants. There we go. I think once we punch through that support, there it is. Now the seller should come out. Our patience paid off. And now what we're looking for in the volume is an increase in sellers. The last thing I want to do is see a whole bunch of buyers jump in and spike up. Matter of fact, I think keeping my stop right above this miniature resistance area. So I'm risking 5 ticks now. I need this to go further. It could come back and test our area, which looks like it's doing. And at that point, we're just hoping that more sellers come in and reject and push that back down. Now this is an area of high probability, so if we're patient, it should push down. All right, I think I'm gonna. Well, here's something happening. Sellers are starting to come in. I'm at the point now where I'm gonna lock in my stop at a plus tick. That'll cover my commissions in case it reverses. Oh, just stop me out. Let's wait and see what happens. I can get one loaded below price, a trigger in. Now it's coming back and testing that previous area. So what we want to do is have it reject off the high of that zone, and if it does reject off the top of this box, then we probably would want to be getting into another short. If we punch through the top of that resistance, then we may just want to wait and see if the buyers take control and give us a reversal. So it was a great way to protect our capital. We only took one tick of profit in that, but we actually preserved capital, so it was a good trade. I hope that helps.